Hey, so today we're going to be looking at how we can make laser eyes. And what I've done is I've just gone to Pexel's video and found a video, that's going to be sort of appropriate, like I say, a nice sort of static shot, to sort of get some eyes in there, see how that looks. And then I've just brought that into After Effects. I've not really done anything to it yet at all. And so skimming through this, it's actually quite a nice sort of point where, the little kid on the left looks sort of towards it and the house falls over. And I'm just going to sort of cut the footage short there. So I'm just going to go to my composition settings and what's that, 6 seconds. So just makes it a bit easier to sort of work with a smaller time frame. Right, so in terms of how to actually create the laser eyes, I'm going to find a point where I probably want my laser eyes to shoot. So like he sort of pulls a little face there. That'll probably be my main spot. And there's going to be a couple of ways we can do this. So just I'm going to go to mid where the laser eyes will be the main point. I'm going to sort of just experiment. I don't really know what's going to be the best way. So I'm just going to make sure I've got nothing selected. I'm just going to get my pen tool and just create like a sort of line. And then with this, I'm actually going to, let's give it a bit of a gradient as well. And that's already like orange to red, so for me that's quite nice. That'll work for me. So I'm just going to go into my contents, my shape and gradient. Editing a gradient in After Effects is not actually as nice as it is in other things in Photoshop. There's normally some points. I might have to switch back to my arrow. So I just need to adjust these points. So maybe I want it to get more red as it's sort of going across like that. Yeah, that's quite nice. Make sure it's got enough stroke. So with this shape, like I say, I'm just going to sort of experiment a bit. I'm going to take my path and I'm going to keyframe it, considering like this is the max point that I want to work with. So I'm going to turn on keyframing and then sort of work backwards a little bit. So let's say I want I want it to sort of follow his eye. Where's the part where I want it to start? So in fact, I probably want a keyframe more about at this point here. And I'm just going to tweak some of these points and move them around a little bit so it matches up, then go back in time and move my points again so it matches his eye line. So so as it goes forward, you can sort of see it's tracking his pupil a little bit, because that'll be my main source of where I want the effect to come from. And then at the start, so where does he pull that face? So let's just start about here and then let's quickly sort of shrink it up. So as I sort of scrub forward, we can see it's just going to sort of shoot out like that. Sound effects and everything, and then maybe it'll thin out a little bit before just like disappearing. So I'm just sort of creating this shape that's going to go shoot out like that. I'm going to chop it off so the thing doesn't really start till then, and then at which point we'll have it sort of chop off at this side, and let's quickly see how that looks. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's not bad. It'll do. Yeah, we sort of see like how if I was to duplicate that it would work. Let's see if we can make it a little bit nice. So let's go Effect, Stylize, and let's put what should we do? Let's put a glow on there. And with glow we want, shall we put it on top? See how that looks. So sort of around the edges we can see a little bit of glow. Let's add a bit more radius. Let's add some, and we're just sort of going to play with like the numbers a little bit. Oh, that's quite nice. Pump bump that intensity like massively up. We want huge amount of intensity. And I can just sort of like play with those numbers as well. So let's see how that looks. It's, you know, it's coming along. It's not really the most dynamic of shape. Let's try and see what we can do to distort it a little bit. So we've got a whole bunch of these. What's blobby lies do? Yeah, it's just going to be a case of messing with some of them, see what. Oh, that's actually quite nice. Like, you know, so starting with a low keyframe and then bringing that up would look quite good. What's this cutaway? Oh, we can actually just use that. We've got lighting and shading as well. Got all kinds of options here. Ooh, so it almost look like we could bring like the heat up on it. We can sort of cut some of these. So we could, let's apply some of that. Let's add a bit of this and then rewind a touch. And as it's rewinding, let's sort of bring that down so it's quite thin. And as that's coming up, let's expand all the way out. And what's this cutaway do? I can't remember. That does that. Yeah, that'll do. Gives us, you know, just a touch of like deformation as it's going, and we can sort of play with like, you know, some of the light and the diffuse and the shading and stuff in here. So I'm just turning on like the keyframe and trying some of those effects. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's all right. If you click on your layer and press U, you know, you'll sort of see all your keyframes, which will be quite good. Let's try a different one. And again, a lot of this, like in sort of this week's lesson, it's just going to be a bit about sort of experimenting and seeing what different stuff does. So magnify is obviously not going to work. Offset could be interesting. Reshape Ripple. Should we see what Ripple does? Ooh. So I will need to sort of, if I change my point, do you know where it's sort of like it ripples from? That could be quite interesting, couldn't it? So we've got wave speed. We can have that quite high, but maybe we want just sort of like a little, just a little. And again, that's something we could keyframe. What's width look like? So maybe, you know, we sort of start quite like we maybe end quite non-rippled and work backwards with this one, and you know, increase that ripple a little bit more. So, you know, we can sort of see that coming along. I wonder if I can double on its glow. So I'm just going to select its glow and duplicate it again. Will that give me more glow? Maybe put that to the bottom, see how that looks. It's a bit better, isn't it? It's something to definitely mess with. I'm going to lower the threshold on this second glow. So that's coming along quite nicely. We can sort of see that's quite good. Maybe with this as well, we want to do a bit of a blend mode. So to turn on blend mode, there's this teeny tiny button in the bottom corner. And let's see what this looks like if we say to darken. Gives us a bit of see-through. Doesn't look very good though. Hues, bad. Let's try overlay. Overlay sometimes. Oh, look at that. So we kind of get a little bit of see-through with that. And if we duplicate it, it should give it a little bit more, so you can still sort of see through it in quite a nice way. So we've got all our effects. That's looking quite good. We'll call that one method 1. We can kind of see how that would work. Like if we sort of, if I were to sort of grab both of these and like duplicate them. Duplicate. And let's put them on this guy's other eye as well. So we'd want to sort of keyframe the masks. Ooh, where's it gone? Ooh. Oh, it's because we need to move the ripple point, which is a bit annoying. You know what, let's just get rid of you and just work with left 4. Where's the ripple point? Let's get that ripple. I think it's this one that we'll need to adjust. In fact, let me just turn these effects off for a second. So we get a shape. Okay. So it's blobbilize that's breaking it. Why are you breaking it? You know what? It's fine. We just want to use this blobbilize. And let's put you from the other eye. Cool. Looking interesting. Definitely something to mess with. I think if on top of that I was to take this top layer here and just create like a quick mask around it where the effect starts. Oops. I'm just going to bring the opacity down a touch so I can sort of see through it. And let's grab a pen. Annoyingly, I'm going to have to quickly keyframe this mask, but it should be fairly straightforward because things quite smooth, the motion. That should be fine. Let's have a quick look-see, see how it looks. Oh, bring the opacity back up. Okay, the mask definitely needs tweaking a touch, but you know, that would be a case of just going through and like doing a fine tweaking. So that way we've seen the glow on the inside. What would be quite nice as well with this is giving this a bit of an effect. So if we go to window, make sure we've got effects turned on, effects and presets. There's some nice presets already built into After Effects that we can mess with, but you know, it just takes a second to load. So let's just go to animation presets. I don't remember which ones it will be. It will be synthetics, smoke, starburst. I don't remember what starburst. I think if I type in lava, we'll see which one it's in. Is it not lava? I thought it was lava. Magma? There it is. Backgrounds, presets, magma. I knew there's one in there somewhere. But you know, just having messed about with those. That is ridiculous. But you know, again, look at like all these options that we've got. Let's just say to we might need to put that back on what it was. Where's the blend mode for it? Or the amount of mixture. Let's see, what else could we do? Brightness of it. So as well as like mixing all of these, you know what? It might just be easier to duplicate it, and let's try like a blend mode again. So on this bottom one here, let me just remove you, and then let's go. Let's try overlay. No, add, darken. Just gonna sort of have a quick flip through these. None of these seem to be very good, but for now we'll just use this one. Sure, why not? And let's just drop the opacity on as well a touch. You know what? I think multiply is probably going to be the better one. So what I'm just going to do is quickly sort of keyframe this turning up. And again, this is really going to be stuff you'd want to sort of fine tweak and mess with as you're going. So as he starts laser visioning it, it'll just go a bit redder, like it's sort of burning away. And we got some kind of fractal noise on there. Let's just grab you, move your case over there as well, so it looks like we got some movement on it. And then we will cut it. Just use Control-Shift-D to cut that. Alright, that's the gist of method one. Let's quickly have a look at a second method that we can mess with. So I'm just going to get my laser eyes real quick, and this one's going to be a lot more sort of straightforward. I'm going to go Layer, New, Solid, and let's just set this to red, because, you know, laser eyes, and hit OK on that. And now in my effects presets, this time I'm going to try lightening. Lightening. How do you spell lightening? I know it starts with light. I'm looking for horizontal lightening. Come on, John. Lightning horizontal. So this one's cool for like super awesome like riding effects. So I'm going to take my origin point. My origin point is obviously his eye, and my direction is here. Look at that. This is animated again. I'm going to press U to reveal it, and we can see the animation keyframes already in place. And we can see, you know, that's already starting to make effect. Let me just put that behind my wall. We've got my core settings and the glow settings. These are what you want to do. Laser sight clearly got to be red. And let's go for like a yellow. Maybe I should have done some research first and actually had a look. But we got different options, loads of stuff we can sort of mess about with and affect and try different settings on. Turbulence, how much turbulence do we want? Oh, yeah, obviously. And just sort of messing with these, see what's going to give me like the best effect. This is something that you guys can mess with, just like messing with like all the numbers, see what gives you the best effect. But I'm going to quickly, in fact, if I turn it from two-way strike to direction, do we want direction? Or do we want strike? I think we want strike. I'm going to change it from direction to strike. And is it decay that I'm looking for? Where's decay? So I think that's cool. Direction, conductivity state. We got a bunch of options. You know what? Let's just quickly keyframe the direction, so working backwards. So we got point A, and then we got, as it sort of starts, let's just change it so, you know, we should see that keyframe quickly increase. Oh, it did not. Why did you? Because I'm not turned on keyframing, obviously, John. So we're gonna hit that, move forward a bit, and grab you, bring you down here, and then we can just have this one quickly stop. Annoyingly, because my composition's shut and what it is, I'm just going to use Control-Shift-D again to quickly cut it. So then that lightning will stop. No, it won't, because I've done it under wrong layer. Okay, that's why. So we can have you stop there. So lightning, pew. And you know, we can mess with that. We can do a lot with that. What even might be more interesting is if I sort of try and merge and sort of blend it with my other thing. So if you do like add, and let's make the core radius like super thick. What's linear dodge look like? Just sort of flicking through some of these to see what's going to give me the best effect. Look at how nice that's suddenly going to start looking. I think there's probably too much forking and a bit too much sort of like conductivity state and whatnot with it, but that's looking amazing. I'm just going to try and sort of like work some of that down a bit. So like the, is it turbulence that's causing that? No, there'll be some options. It'll just be a case of messing with a bunch of those and seeing how they work. We've even got like expert settings. Ooh. Oh, that looks a lot better with a much lower number. Maybe try like 4. Fork distance. Wow, there's loads of stuff we can try. Anyway, again, that's stuff that you guys can mess about with and get looking good. I think the one more thing I probably want to do is just on this layer. I'm going to quickly keyframe a bit of color correction as well. So let's get a color correction. What should we do? There's so many. We'll do curves, and then we'll just keyframe it going from standard to more red. So like it's really going to start like warming up as well. Oh no, I need to end the mask as well because the mask just sort of stays. But we can sort of see how that works. It'd be nice actually if the mask sort of tracked it as it fell down. But yeah, that gives us something to mess about with, something to look with. And that's the gist. It's just a case of experimenting with some of the tools, seeing how they work, and give that a go.